Hello everybody, and welcome to VG Music Weekly explains some Let's Play tips and tricks. In this video, I will be discussing some general tips and tricks, talking about different types of Let's Plays, what the pros and cons are for them, and what some strategies are to become a better Let's Player. With that, let's begin. Now, I'm not talking about speedruns or live streams, I'm just talking about Let's Plays specifically. Let's start with the first concept, the playthrough. Now, this is not what most of you will be doing in the class, but it's good to know this nonetheless. The first example I'd like to go over is a walkthrough. Walkthroughs are commonly informational and meant to explain the game in all aspects. They're often 100% and go out of their way to show off secrets and hidden content and details that people may not know. The best ones of these tend to have a lot of extra editing and annotations to really show off all the information related to the game. This has a lot more work and study required than simply playing through the game, which you would see in another type, the straight playthrough. These showcase the whole game and shows off a person's natural personality. This allows the player to really shine through while still showing off the game. People who watch this like the person they're watching for who they are and how they show a game, whether it's they make puns, they do voices, whatever, they have reasons why they like that person for who they are. In this, you're showcasing the game, so unless you plan to skip a portion of the game, you're not skipping around and cutting out content. For the straight playthrough, unplanned silence is your enemy. You do not want to be silent unless you're showing off music or letting an experience take place. If you stop talking, you are doing something wrong. One of the cons with this is you can't just cut to the best moments. You can't just show, here's me laughing, here's this important thing in the game. You're showing off the whole game and the full experience, and maybe you cut out a small portion where nothing happens, or you're doing some tedious work and it's not important to the game, but you're not just cutting around to your best reactions to things. A variation on this type of playthrough is the joking playthrough. In the joking playthrough, the game will often take a back seat to the people talking. These playthroughs are often heavily edited, not in order to cut out portions of the game or showcase the best moments necessarily, but in order to add in graphics or images to supplement the jokes that are being made. This is really good for two-person Let's Plays, but it tends to let the game be more of a setup for jokes and stories rather than a showcase of the game itself. The final playthrough type I'd like to talk about is the edited playthrough. These often show specific moments of the game and are meant to focus on the player, not the actual game itself. These are usually done with games where story isn't a focus, such as Minecraft, and where what happens to the people is the focus. This is useful in game, again, such as in Minecraft, where there are long periods where not much interesting happens, so you can easily cut that out without it feeling awkward for the viewer. However, one of the main cons with this type of Let's Play is people get an edited version of you. They don't see the raw, uncut version of who you are and get comfortable with you. They see only the funniest moments, and while that can be enjoyable, it doesn't create as much of a relationship with an audience if you're looking to get an audience. Now, moving off of the topic of playthroughs, I want to move on to the topic of Let's Look Ats and One-Offs, which is what most of you will be doing. A common one of these is a one-shot, which is usually done with a short game where it can be made into a series, but it's often a game where you can either play a session in one video, such as Binding of Isaac or other roguelike games, or a game that doesn't really have any sort of story or progression, and you're just playing it for fun, such as fighting games and party games, any game that has no real end. These are usually unedited and are often a background for whatever the creator wishes to say, where the creator has the option to either talk about the game or themselves, but it can also be a look at a recently released game, or just a game somebody wants to showcase a piece of. Following that, we have the Let's Look At, which just showcases a portion of a game and is often heavily edited to show either moments of reaction from the player or specific moments of the game. This is what we saw in class with the game of Mountain. If the editing is player-focused, the video focuses on showcasing the player's personality and reactions, but doesn't usually focus on the game itself separate from the player, whereas if the editing is game-focused, it becomes all about the game and those moments from the game, and not really about showcasing the person's personality, instead just talking about specific moments. So while this can be a fun way to experience and look at a game, it's not always the best way to showcase everything through this medium. It does have the pro of eliminating external commentary, which can be good in not having silence and being able to be silent while you play and just cut that out, but it's bad in that you miss out on half of the experience, whether it be the game half and all that goes into the game, or the player half and really feeling connected with the player, and you also don't get that raw, interesting commentary and discussion, which is a big reason a lot of people enjoy watching Let's Plays. Now I'm going to quickly go through my top 4 tips for getting better and improving as a Let's Player. My first tip is to ask yourself why. Why are you doing this? Who is the audience? What do you want to showcase about the game? If you run out of things to talk about, this allows you to have something that you can always fall back on. Going into a video with a plan really helps. Are you showcasing the game because the gameplay is great? Its music is awesome. It's an underrated game and you want to change minds. Having a goal in mind other than playing a game and talking about it or showcasing this thing is very important. Every Let's Player has some reason why they are Let's Playing and you just need to let them out. Second tip, you are a character. Like it or not, this is acting. Whether your character is yourself or your own creation, you play a character that is your online representation, and formatting that can really give yourself a way to go that you might not have if you're just yourself talking about a game. Having an excited and enthusiastic persona, for example, can help reduce mumbling, which no one wants to hear, and make those around you, or those watching, more excited about the game you're presenting. A good way to figure out what you want for self-representation is finding a good way to start and end your video that interests and grabs the viewer. For example, I start all my videos with, "Hey everybody, it's VG Music Weekly and welcome back to," and I end all my videos by, "Thank you so much for watching. I've been VG Music Weekly, you've been awesome, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye." So figuring out the start and end of your videos is really important. The next thing I'm going to talk about is something nobody really thinks about, but is very important, which is the 4-person theory. You need to think about who you are talking to, and with that, there are 4 people in the room that you are talking to. The first of those is yourself. Let's Plays are a reaction-based medium. So when talking to yourself, you need to focus on reacting on the game, both in short term, like reacting to deaths, surprises, events, and in long term, reacting to the game as a whole in music, gameplay, and overall style. Silence is your enemy, as I have said before, so you should try to always have someone talking if possible, unless the silence is planned. The next person is your partner. Partners can be used to help carry a conversation so you feel less alone in a room if that's awkward for you. Viewers enjoy being part of a conversation, so don't just talk at people or react, make there be a conversation between the two of you as well. The third person is the microphone or the audience. They are in the room as well. You need to talk to them and explain what is going on or why you do what you do. Share your feelings directly with the audience. Don't just talk with your partner, include the audience. And many people think this interaction is a one-way street, but it's actually 2 ways. You need to assume what the audience will be saying. "Hey, why aren't you doing this? What are you doing there? Hey, you're doing a great job," and respond to what they're saying. "I know what you might be thinking, so-and-so, but here's why I'm doing this thing." And the fourth person is the game. A lot of Let's Players view the game as a person too. The game is a deity, blessing or cursing you with good or bad luck, good or bad game mechanics, and you should react to the game as such. Praise the game when it does something that helps you, or get angry when it does something bad to you. It's a character in the play you have in this whole game thing, and that form of play is not playing the game, but like an acting play. And the fourth tip I have is just some tips for practice. My best advice for practicing Let's Playing is to play through 4 levels of a game in 4 different ways, preferably a game you're not playing. The first time, you should just play and talk about something on your mind completely unrelated to the game. Pick a topic like chores or homework or essays or whatever. I have a lot of that on my mind right now, and just talk about it as you play through the level. This can get you used to the idea of talking and comfortable with gaming and discussing a separate topic at the same time. Then, try playing through another level and just reacting to everything that happens. This can make you used to showcasing your reactions, which is huge in Let's Plays. For the third type, try playing a level and talk about one aspect of the level and focus only on that, relating it to other games experience, but mostly focus on a main game-related concept as a whole. This can be something like the concept of water levels or graphical direction, but focus on the level itself as a whole. Then, for the 4th level, try simply explaining everything you are doing and all the actions you are performing and why. This will help in having something to fall back on if you can't think of a topic, and helps the viewer see into your mind. Once you are comfortable with these 4 aspects, try mixing and matching them until you feel comfortable playing a game and seamlessly switching between topics of discussion. You want to be able to react to something or explain a game aspect that comes up, then switch back to the conversation that had been going on previously. Viewers really like to see a natural you and get along with whoever they're watching, so present someone likable and get them to see the natural or character of you and like that person. And that's it. So, as always, gonna end my video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been VG Music Weekly. You and you and you and everyone in this class and anyone else watching the video who's not in the class have been awesome, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.